What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Erasure. We're back with another tune from their opening album, Wonderland, 1986. Getting close to the end, we're actually going to listen to a tune that is the normal studio original version of a track I've already reacted to. Indeed, the very first Erasure reaction I did was a 12-inch vinyl remix of O L'Amour that I happen to have in my 80s vinyl collection, which my 80s vinyl collection has been, accumulated over a long time. Some of them go back to like my older sister's records that I inherited essentially right when I got my turntables in the late 90s. Others have come from like collections of like, oh, so and so is getting rid of the records. Do you want some? Like, sure, yeah, I'll take them if they're if they're just gonna give them away. I've got some 80s records that way, and then a couple years ago, my sister was like, hey, I still have some records from back in the day. We're getting rid of everything. Do you want them? So yeah, I don't know exactly when I got that one. I think it might have been that last batch from my sister a couple years ago. But yeah, so that was the first Erasure reaction I did, and I remembered that tune from my youth. I remembered in particular not only the title line of the song, the way Belle sings it, but I remembered that phrase, what's a boy supposed to do? So yeah, when I went to react to that, it was nostalgic. Now, it wasn't nostalgic in that I remembered every little sort of twist and turn of the song, but I remembered the overall sort of sound. I remembered at least, that it dealt with sort of that feeling of anxiety of, when you're involved in, at least attempting to be involved in intimate relations, and, the uncertainty, the anxiety, the emotional insecurity, and so on. So, that's where I sort of took that. Now, again, having heard Erasure songs in much more detail, and many more of them in the last few months, I realized there's different layers and different angles at emotional relationships and physical intimacy and so on that they get at. So I'll try to pick up on more lyrics than I did the first time, because when I did that first reaction, number one, it was I think more of like a dance kind of remix, a 12-inch mix of the tune. But back then I had just started reacting to synth-pop, and I didn't spend too much time like, oh, let me think about the lyrics or at least speculate on the title and so on. So now that I've been doing that more regularly, as I go to think about the tune, I remember that line, I remember sort of the chorus, but I don't remember a lot of the ins and outs of the actual lines. Moreover, it will be interesting to hear the original studio album version here and how it may differ from that 12-inch mix. So with no further ado, let's get to it. This is Vince Clarke and Andy Bell as Erasure on their debut album Wonderland, and the tune is O L'Amour. Whoa. More of kind of like a spiritual, like gospel vibe at the start. The other one I think got to the kick drum right away. What's a boy I don't know how anyone can dislike their music, I swear. Sort of like a synth equivalent of like fine china. Falling apart. I love those little laser shots. What's a boy in love supposed to do, right? Oh, there's too many good synth layers. Like fluff. Kind of harpsichord layer. Every layer where it should be. I do love that. That big sort of synth layer is kind of the cherry on top of everything. Crystalline melody. songs hit me so well because it's like, I know what it feels like to have love be like a gift and a curse at the same time. Aching for you. Like emotional ache. Brilliant. As I mentioned, that is one that I remember from my youth. I heard it on the radio either individually or as part of one of those like weekend mixes that I know I've mentioned a few times. Like I grew up, where K-Rock, it's sort of the radio station that I remember in the 80s was playing a lot of synth-pop and so on. And on the weekends they'd have like DJ mixes, and a lot of times it was like the 12-inch mix or the 7-inch remix and so on. But yeah, I definitely remember hearing that one at some point back in the day, which is why, like, when I realized, oh, I have an Erasure record and it's actually a tune I remember, that's why I wanted to react to that, which, again, it was only a couple months ago, but it feels like so long ago now. And again, shout out to Han Solo and Seb and a number of people who've commented on the Erasure reactions. I really do appreciate it. It's a journey that's been as fun for me as any of these other deep dives that I'm doing. Just because, again, even when they're singing about emotional pain and sort of relationship loss and so on, there's something like irrepressibly positive and fun about Erasure's music. So once again, shout out to Andy Bell and Vince Clarke. Let me know what you think of this tune. Other than that, I will see you next time.